Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Holy Moses! It's one of those mornings. Well, better late than never. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and I fixed the color and all this other stuff. I'm having quite the day. I got to be honest. Everything that could go wrong this morning has, and so I probably look a little silly on the internet today. But you know what? I'll get through it. If you'll get through it, I'll be just fine. So let's get the show started because I don't even know if you can see me. Let's see. Let me look at my monitor here. Oh, look. That's my face. It's working. So first, by the way, thank you, Avocados Dably. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar saying, I'm back from the 19th century hell of past few days. Hurricane fucked up the area around here pretty good. Got off easy here in this little valley, but Asheville got wrecked. Did Lady Boomer get stuck in that shit at all? So, I didn't realize you were in that area of the country. That area is really messed up, and we talked a lot about it yesterday. I'm glad you're well. I don't know if anyone else who watches this on a regular is having the same problem, but no, Nashville, the rain had not hit Nashville by the time she left, at least not that I know of. She didn't complain about the weather at all. And I don't know that. So what I think is either the rain came later, because I see some reports that it's coming that way, and also I didn't. But yeah, she didn't have any problems, fortunately. But yeah, that Asheville, North Carolina, parts of Tennessee, a lot of places around there are just messed up. And I don't. You know as well as I do, I guess. And thank you for sponsoring the show. I hope you're doing fine. It's a tough one. So, and thank you for sponsoring the show, as you often do. So, let's get this thing going. Let's say hi to everybody. First in the chat today is Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, gets the bell. Wait, why did you play that? Yeah, we know. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier, Avocados Diabli, Aaron Meredith, Mike Savage, Blarg, Attack Alpaca, Ravon Harris is in the house. Good morning, also Rick Ashbringer, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island. Also, good morning, Special Can Acid, Jedi Ghost Bears in the house, Shrapnel's here, Johnny Boomer Tech, who's right over there monitoring the board, Tyler F, Green Badger Outdoors. I'm sure there'll be more, or there are more, but you haven't said anything in the chat yet. So since I'm kind of in a rut, not a rut, I'm in a bad place today so far. So I want to make sure I get as much in as possible, even though it's going to be on a short amount of time. So what I'm going to do, I didn't really open a bunch of articles, but I'll drop the my favorite aggregator in the links today. That would be JJ Sefton at Ace of Spades blog. Has a whole bunch of great stuff there. And we'll just go through kind of the stuff that's at the top of mind. You know what I mean? Top of mind, top of soul. By the way, I'm sure there's several of you who have, oh, wait, what did I do there? Did I already do this? Oh, I see. Several of you have let people know that we're here today. I see Somnambule Nation, Reaction Puerto Rico, Gunfox 61 is there somewhere. Oh, you just liked it. Gunfox, are you here? I don't even see you yet. I'm sure you're here somewhere. Thank you for those who do that, and I appreciate if the rest of you would consider doing that. Always tweet out the show or put it on social media somewhere, and we'll have some more friends here. Hello, Lord Stanhope. How are you doing? Who are these people here, and why are they whining? Oh, we'll talk about that. We'll get to that. We'll talk about the strike. It's funny because there's been a lot of articles that I've been reading about the strike, and I didn't really talk about them here. And I was going to, just the looming dock worker strike, why are my hands green? I guess the green screen is doing weird stuff. For several days I've been reading about the looming dock worker strike, the longshoreman, and I really didn't bring it up here, but it could be a mess, or it could be, well, it could be. No, I'm not going to get into conspiracy theory. I'll let someone else do that when I get to that. So anyway, main things happening though in the world today. As you know, it is October 1st, and that means you should have said rabbit, rabbit this morning. The first words out of your mouth should have been rabbit, rabbit. Not rabid rabbit, who's in the chat, but rabbit, rabbit. I don't know. That's supposedly supposed to bring you good luck. Now, here's a good October tidbit for you just to put on the screen. It's the 1st of October. Oh my God, and that didn't work. Well, what the hell's going on here? Let's try. There it goes. There you go. It's October 1st, and so the skeletons are ready for Halloween, or the pumpkin patches are getting orangey, or this bird is going to come jumping at you and eating some food out of your hand. Whatever that means. Happy October 1st. And also when October 1st comes around, things like rabbit, rabbit show up. And I wanted to show you, well, that's not a rabbit. What the hell is that? Oh, that's Robin Roberts. Is this, okay, this isn't the one. This is the hashtag rabbit, rabbit, but under, I think, rabbit, rabbit. I got to be careful here because you never know when I might see body parts. So I wanted to show you, though, I wanted to show you one picture, and it looks like it's gone. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Now, wait till you see this. This, my friends, click the right button. This, my friends, is a giant bunny. This is the biggest friggin' rabbit I've ever seen. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the rabbit stew you can make out of this motherfucker? I don't know. What the hell is that?
Ei, pessoal, será que esse é o maior coelho do mundo? O que você acha? Comente aí.
That's bigger than my dog.
Ei, pessoal.
Holy smokes, that is crazy. I bring the best luck. The hugest even. Oh, it's the Donald Trump rabbit. Good morning, Dom O'Leary. I see you in the chat. Holy, oh my God. Where do you find that motherfucker? Oh, by the way, speaking of that, today's coffee is brought to you by keeping dumb fuckery to a minimum. I don't know if you can see that, but that's my new cup that I got up at the little festival in North Branch when I hung out with my daughter this weekend. That's your cousin, Rabbit Rabbit? Well, you must have a very large family, and I mean, not in numbers. Let's see. Happy 1st of the month. All these things trending because of October 1st. I'm not even gonna put them on the screen. But also now the only other thing that's trending that I thought was kind of humorous, and it took me a minute. Well, there's two reasons why this is trending, and that would be the band Green Day is trending today. Now I was like, okay, what stupid political BS did they come up with this time? And there is something, okay, for example, apparently multiple Oakland radio stations, Oakland, California, radio stations. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. The Las Vegas radio stations apparently are going to not play Green Day songs anymore. Multiple radio stations banned Green Day after they called Las Vegas a shithole, because the Oakland A's are moving there. And Oakland is not a shithole? That's the good question. So anyway, I don't know where that came from. Is this it? Las Vegas. Is this it? Okay, here it is. Las Vegas bans Green Day on several radio stations after this meltdown by lead singer Billie Joe Armstrong.
I hate Las Vegas. It's the worst in America.
Okay, so he says, I hate Las Vegas, the worst shithole in America. Well, I don't know. I kind of like Vegas, and it's not really. It's a city that is run and paid for by the casinos, so it stays. Well, it has stayed fairly clean. I don't know what's like lately. I mean, whatever. Let's keep that. Oh, let's keep the bunny away from the Haitians. Yes, that would make a lot of stew. We're talking about the rabbit again. I see. Good morning, Gun Fox 61. How you doing, brother? The awesome administrator of the P-Dog Night, Discord server. All right, other things happening. Jimmy Carter is trending. Why is Jimmy Carter trending? Nope. Someone needed to put that Denzel Washington thing up where, I thought something happened. No, Jimmy Carter, well, he's actually in hospice right now. But today is Jimmy Carter's 100th birthday. James Earl Carter, former president of the United States, and I will say President Jimmy Carter because all presidents get to be called presidents for the rest of their life. It's Jimmy Carter's birthday, and I think this top tweet on this particular topic encapsulates what I think about this and about Jimmy Carter. This man says, as a conservative, it's always easy to point to Jimmy Carter as one of the worst presidents, and he was objectively terrible as president by most metrics. However, his decency is indispensable. Therefore, happy birthday, and God bless President Jimmy Carter. Yes, worst president of my lifetime. And that's saying a lot because I think most of them are pretty bad. But, in hindsight, it's easy to say that every president was bad, but fortunately we have a great country that can withstand all of them. But he was awful. He just, and kind of exacerbated the crap of the 70s, which the 70s was a rough time for everybody. Not clearly not the Great Depression, but still, he just exuded weakness but he was in the end, after he left, he did a lot of good things. Avocado Sammy Carter is a guy who means well, just did a lot of what not so smart things as a president because of it. Yeah. He led with his heart and not his brain. And, but it's hard to say something bad about him after he was president because he spent his whole life serving and, building houses for Habitat Humanity. And he still, every once in a while decided to dip his toes into the political waters by just saying some shit and whatever. But that's just because he's leftist, guy. But I other than that, I think he's lived a good life and he made it to 100. I don't know how much longer he'll be around. But he deserves at least the respect of how he lived his life beyond his presidency. So, happy birthday, James Earl Carter. Now, another person whose birthday it is today, a legend. Wait, what is this? Oh, and there's also a happy birthday, Mr. President. Jimmy Carter's turned 100 years old. Carter, who served 39th president of the United States, is the longest lived former president and the first to reach the milestone in the nation's history. So that I didn't know either. It's the first president ever to make it to 100. That's pretty amazing. Now, the other birthday we're celebrating today is a legend in theater and movies and whatnot. Miss Julie Andrews is 89 today. Happy birthday, Julie Andrews. Chim Chimmery, and The Sound of Music and Princess Diaries. And she's, so anyway, happy birthday. This is someone the same name, Donna Barrow. Happy 89th birthday to my all-time favorite actress and singer, Julie Andrews. From the moment I first heard her glorious Colorado singing voice, I became an ardent fan. She truly is practically perfect in every way. She was a very fun lady as far as often self-deprecating humor and whatever. She's one of the greats of all time. Good morning, Select Boy, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
Now, the sad news, many of you probably already knew this, but I didn't get to say it yet. So we have lost a baseball legend. Mr. Pete Rose passed away at 80. How old was he? He was 80-something. Pete Rose was a credit to Cincinnati, to the state of Ohio, and to everyone who loves America's pastime. My prayers with his family at this difficult time. This is J.D. Vance. His passing is a reminder that legends live forever and that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was banned from the Hall of Fame for gambling. Now, one of the ironic things, I reposted something someone put up. Let me see if I can find, I'll go under my profile here. The irony and I mean the irony, is that Pete Rose was banned for life for betting on baseball. But every sports show covering his death over the last 24 hours is sponsored by a gambling site. So that's ironic. This is the dumbest time there's ever been to be alive. Well, you could say it might be. That's completely and totally ironic. So, but anyway, legendary hitter, Charlie Hustle is his nickname. I remember watching him in the 70s, man. That dude just gave up his body for the game. I'm just telling you, he worked his ass. Also famous for the diving head first slide. That was his thing, man. He would take off and he would dive head first, slide into base, catch with his hands. Just a great baseball player. Also passing away, this is a name you may not know as well, Mr. Ken Page. Apparently he was the voice of Oogie Boogie, which I've never heard of, from a Halloween movie. But also he was the original Deuteronomy in the musical Cats on Broadway. Had a big booming voice, and is legendary in Broadway circles. So if you're familiar with that, rest in peace, Ken Page. Other things happening right now. Let's see. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So save them titties. Tomorrow starts, let's see. In 2024, more than 360,000 people will be diagnosed with breast cancer, but there is hope. Advancements in early detection methods and support continue to increase the chances of survival. When caught in its earliest localized stages, the 5-year relative survival rate of breast cancer is 99%. Early detection for all is only possible through action. The National Breast Cancer Foundation, I don't know what that stands for. What is it? National Breast Cancer Foundation is dedicated to helping women now. The earlier we act, the better our impact, and less, and we need your help. And my wife has a couple cousins who have, one who's succumbed to breast cancer, one who's going through treatment now. I mean, there used to be I don't remember what it was called, something about, it was like check your titties or something. But anyway, so that it's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The other thing that is happening this month, oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. It is also perhaps the most important day of the year. Not because of Jimmy Carter, not because of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, not because of Rabbit, not because it's the 1st of October, but it is, ladies and gentlemen, no avocado stably. Do we really need to save the women? Yes, we do. And no mention of men who get it. I didn't say women. Did I say anything about women? Did I? Or did she? I guess that thing said women. Yes, some men get breast cancer too. And there's other types of cancers that we need to be concerned about. Okay? But today it just happens to be breast cancer awareness. There's a lot of other nasty cancers out there that we need to be aware of. Good morning, you're a ridiculous moon enthusiast, formerly lunatic. And JB. Today, though, is the most important day of the year. Can you guess what it is? It is International Coffee Day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Arabica says it is International Coffee Day. Or National Coffee Day, International Coffee Day. Oh, I see. I don't know why they did it that way. Oh, I see. So yesterday, or a couple of days ago, was National Coffee Day. Today is International Coffee Day. Please enjoy yourself a cup of Joe for International Coffee Day. I am. And happy birthday to JB's cat. Okay, I don't know why you keep track of your cat's birthday. I don't know my pet's birthday, but then again, we got a rescue dog, so we would never know that. All right. Also, Halloween is trending just because it's October. I don't need to go through that one. let's talk a little bit about Hurricane Helene, whatever you want to call it, however you want to pronounce it. We mentioned yesterday that Biden I think what he said was kind of a gaffe. I don't think what he said was correct when he said, are there going to be additional funds or, things available for the hurricane people? And he said, no, we have given all we have. What's interesting, also apparently Donald Trump flew directly to devastation to deliver critical supplies to victims of Helene. Biden was at the beach all weekend. Well, come on, you can't get Biden to jump up on a dime. But President Trump went into the hurricane area. I guess they delivered some stuff on Trump Force One, and then Kamala posed for this picture here, looking like she's doing something. Now some people are saying those are blank sheets of paper. There's no way to tell, but the purpose is they try to make photo ops for photo ops for Kamala Harris. But people are asking a lot of questions. Can you imagine all the other animals out there that need rescuing too? It's a horror show for everyone. People and their beloved pets praying for all in harm's way. Joey just said there's no more money left for Hurricane Helene. That's what Joe Biden said. But I think that was a gaffe. But a lot of people are pointing out, this sand slug sunning on the shore while Americans fight for their lives after Hurricane Helene. Don't forget, Biden-Harris cabal sends $232 million to the Ukraine every single day while Americans flounder. So a lot of people criticizing the administration over, over the handling of it. But look, I'm sure that FEMA's out there doing what they can. I know what's interesting is Ron DeSantis, who had this prior to the hurricane hitting shorelines, declared a disaster area, told people to evacuate, has his National Guard helping people in Florida. But he's also sent National Guard to North Carolina and, Asheville and Appalachia, the areas up north that also need help. So Ron DeSantis is doing as much probably as the federal government is for these areas. Now, here's an interesting shot. I'm going to show you just some pictures that people are putting on the internet. This one, for example, showing this is Chimney Rock, North Carolina, a glimpse into the forever altered landscape in Western North Carolina. The more I look at this, the harder it is to believe. So I'm going to show you the picture here. Try to put it so you can see it the best. That's kind of it. Let's see. Try full screen. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, watch. So this was before. This is Chimney Rock Village in North Carolina, and it's going to show you an after. Same spot, but let it go one more time and see if I can pause it in time this time. Yeah, that's That's hard to look at. It's just, I can't imagine having your life upended like that. Now this is here's a problem with Joe Biden, because I don't think he really knows what he's saying half the time. So this is Biden speaking with officials on the Helene response. Listen to this.
We have rivers that are still rising. The danger is still occurring for a lot of people.
And by the way, as the FEMA can tell you, they had pre-positioned an awful lot of material throughout that area, from the Bend all the way up into Tennessee. And so the idea that we weren't prepared, the question is, no one knew exactly.
Listen to how angry he sounds, because he's getting criticized for not being prepared. Now, granted, these are areas that aren't normally expected to have this kind of issue, right? The rain from a hurricane going and flooding towns up in western North Carolina and Tennessee, and they weren't. How do you prepare for that if this is something that really probably doesn't happen more than once every 300 years? Okay, I understand why. But I understand why there might be criticism too, because people want someone to blame. But Joe Biden's sounding angry at the people who are asking for help is not a good look. I mean, he just sounds like a cranky old man, which of course that's kind of what he is. But again, listen to his tone as he's talking to them.
Preposition an awful lot of material throughout that area, from the Bend all the way up into Tennessee. And so the idea that we weren't prepared, the question is...
The idea that we weren't prepared. How did you know to position anything up in Tennessee and North Carolina? I can understand why you might not have been as prepared for how devastating it turned out to be. But here we go.
No one knew exactly how devastating it would be. We knew it would be significant, and we've got a lot already in place, but there's more. But here's the point. I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people. It's not going to be one hit and it's over. It's going to take a hell of a long time. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. But this is the United States of America.
Okay, and I'm curious, too. And I understand that we really don't have money. they just kind of just poof, here is the money for things. But the idea he's saying, the way he said that we expect Americans to keep funding, whatever they're doing there. What do you mean? I don't ever hear you, did I ever hear you say that Americans got to keep contributing to Ukraine? No, we just fucking give them money. Or just any kind of foreign aid. And this is that America First thing that I talk about, because I know, and I know I sound like a broken record, but when you say America First, it's because you want to make sure that America is healthy. So if you want to help other people, you got to be healthy yourself. Again, I always use that airplane analogy. I'm not going to go through it again, but I might make a separate video about that. But just the sound of his voice, like he's mad at, he's not talking to the guy asking for help. He's talking to the people who are criticizing him instead of just answering to the people that are on the screen there. Interesting. Now here's another one too, and this is Kamala. Hang on, Kamala Harris. Some reporters wanted to ask her about this hurricane release, and now isn't it funny that all of a sudden, why is Kamala Harris at the FEMA table? Because it's an election year and they want to make it look like she's in charge of something. Shouldn't that be Joe Biden sitting at the FEMA table? She's not the president. Now, I grant it. Joe Biden lets her be the last person in the room for certain things. But it doesn't make sense. But apparently she doesn't want to answer any questions about it. She looks like a deer in headlights. Oh, she's ignoring them. Oh, they're running him out of this too. The White House aides are not letting the press ask questions. They're doing it just like they do with Joe Biden. We got to get out of here. She might say something stupid. How? Oh my God. Now I get it. Now granted, they're having an important meeting, so maybe, but why were the reporters in there anyway? Why were the reporters in there anyway if they didn't want them to ask questions? Then close the door. Have a closed door meeting. Don't have reporters in there. But you had them in there for something, and now they can't ask questions? Go figure. Did they like bum rush the meeting and just start asking questions, or were they invited there at first? Doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
So anyway, so here's someone saying things that helped me survive Helene: a gas car, a gas stove, gas hot water heater, a gas chainsaw, and cash. Things that were useless during Helene: electric cars, electric appliances, debit cards, the city bus, the government, diversity, my tax dollars in Ukraine. Wow. That's a little harsh. That's in the links, or it's in the thing today. So now here's something interesting. So Donald Trump, we know Donald Trump went to the region, and he flew in and brought some supplies on his plane. Also, apparently, GoFundMe's trending because Donald Trump started a GoFundMe, and some people are pointing out, well, Blair White says, when tragedy struck, one candidate responded by staging a photo with a blank paper. The other one flew to the scene and donated $25 million. So apparently Donald Trump donated $25 million to hurricane relief and started a GoFundMe. Here's another one saying Trump created a GoFundMe for hurricane victims. Kamala raised funds to bail out Antifa. Choose your fighter. Breaking, Donald Trump just launched a GoFundMe for Hurricane Helene victims. It's almost 1 million already within a few minutes. He's taking matters into his own hands because the federal government refuses to care. Now, that's not fair. It's not that the federal government refuses to care. But it just, and again, it's been a short period of time, but Biden's getting the, and in some ways, ironically, in some ways, karmically, is receiving the George W. Bush Katrina treatment. Because let's be honest about Katrina, and some people saying, oh, it was a terrible response, blah, blah, blah. They were responding to Katrina before Katrina even hit land. The Coast Guard was out there, and the Coast Guard was immediately out there rescuing people. They had the Coast Guard in place, but everyone's saying, "Oh no, Donald Trump or George W. Bush doesn't care about black people." Remember Kanye saying that. The logistics of the New Orleans rescues, basically one road that comes into New Orleans. But made it difficult. But the Coast Guard was out there immediately. They were out there helping, and I know that right now there are federal assets in these areas doing everything they can. It's a major, major devastation, and so. But in some ways, you go, well, you know what they did to George Bush with Katrina? Joe Biden deserves this, but it also doesn't. It isn't a good look that Joe Biden was on the beach as this was hitting. It doesn't look good that Kamala Harris was out at a fundraiser as this was hitting. But yeah, this one had $1 million goal, and it hit within the first few hours, pretty much. Oh, this is wild. I didn't see this. Jackson Reffitt recorded his father, who was at J6, and turned him into the FBI. He even raised $200,000 off it via GoFundMe. This kid's a piece of shit. Yeah, he kind of is. But GoFundMe's trending more for Donald Trump. Now, here's a couple articles. Now, this is the optics part, which, she's out campaigning during this. By the way, good morning, GDSOB. Good morning, Big Dave. What's up? Kamala Harris partied with Hollywood celebrities in wake of Hurricane Helene devastation. Oh, it's good to be home. Vice President Kamala Harris returned to her natural habitat over the week in Hollywood, where she partied with celebrities and studio executives as millions of Americans elsewhere continue to deal with the deadly devastation wrought by Hurricane Helene. Again, she's getting the George W. Bush Katrina treatment from the right of center news outlets. Oh, it's good to be home, Kamala reportedly exclaimed to the crowd gathered for a Harris Walsh fundraiser at the JW Marriott in downtown Los Angeles on Sunday afternoon. Her prioritization of Hollywood stars over the millions of victims of Hurricane Helene has resulted in a negative news cycle for her campaign. Former President Donald Trump is set to visit storm-ravaged parts of Georgia on Monday, that was yesterday, and will assist with the distribution of relief aid. In response, Kamala Harris cut short her fundraising tour to head back to Washington, D.C. Monday morning. So, again, I know that they can criticize her for doing a Hollywood fundraiser because the optics are bad, but at least she cut short her fundraising tour to head back to Washington. Among those in attendance at Sunday's Harris Walls Hollywood fundraiser were Demi Lovato, who doesn't know what she is. She announced, remember, she's the one who announced to the world that she was non-binary. And about 6 weeks later, she changed her mind and said, never mind. It's too fucking hard. Stevie Wonder, Jessica Alba, Lily Tomlin, Sterling K. Brown, whoever the hell that is. Former Disney chief and Democrat fundraiser Jeffrey Katzenberg was there, as were Universal boss Donna Langley and Hollywood PR maven Kelly Bush Novak. The shindig reportedly raised more than $28 million for the Harris Walls campaign and not for the victims of the hurricane. Kamala Harris spent the weekend rubbing elbows with celebrities as millions of Americans in the Southeast continued to pull themselves out of the destruction caused by Hurricane Helene. President Joe Biden told reporters that the federal government won't be giving the people affected by the hurricane any more federal resources. Now, again, I think this is a misstatement by President Biden, but here it is again. Listen.
Do you have any words for the victims of the hurricane?
Do you have any words for the victims of the hurricane?
As a matter of fact, we're trying to get the exact number. My FEMA advisor is on the ground in Florida right now. There's a distinction between the numbers that FEMA's used and the ones that are used by the locals. So,
what is he even saying? We're trying to get the numbers from FEMA. The numbers of what? The numbers of what, Joe? But anyway,
it really is amazing. You saw the photographs. It's stunning.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
Such a wide area.
And we've given them all everything that we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we've given them. We have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they.
Is there any more resources the federal government give them? No, we pre-planned and we give them everything we have. Now, this is, again, a lot of people put this out there. Let me let him finish. At least you can hear part of the answer that they didn't really focus on, because I think the last part of the sentence tells you a little more than that.
Didn't ask for it yet. Hadn't asked for it yet.
He said that a lot of these governments haven't, or local places haven't asked for it yet. So I'm not sure what he said. When he said no, from a propaganda, political, whatever standpoint, that sounds really bad. And it's almost like he's like, no, we're not doing it anymore. And that's just Joe's brain not working. But then he finishes up with they haven't asked for any more. So, okay, Joe, then if they ask for more, will you give them more? Because certainly every time Ukraine asks for more money, you give it to him. So maybe that's the criticism. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. You sponsor the show one more time. Another 223 in the tip jar, who says, a road near here used to have both a giant Trump sign and a Harris sign made out of painted plywood, not from each other. Giant tree landed right on the Harris one Friday. Trump one, not a scratch. Made me chuckle when I saw it. Oh, that's a little karma. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Appreciate it. I don't know if you were here the day when we came back from Bayfield, Wisconsin. We went up to the Apostle Islands. And I'm curious if the giant Harris sign made out of painted plywood was actually made out of painted plywood. When we were in Wisconsin, we noticed we were driving from Superior to Bayfield, and there was looked like it was a hand painted sign, right, for Harris Walls, and had this. It looked homemade, like someone just went out and painted their own sign. And we're like, oh, that's interesting. And then about 3 miles down the road, we saw an identical, looked like somebody painted their own sign. Like they're trying to make it seem like all these signs are grassroots. People they're so enamored by Harris and Walls that they went out and painted their own sign. And then we saw an identical one 3 miles down the road. And then we saw a third one about another 10 miles down the road. Like they were all identical. So they weren't hand painted. They were produced. And then we saw the same thing. There was a different sign as we got into Ashland. And there were, I don't know why these come in threes, but it was like just a big, looked like it was a hand-painted sign that just said Harris. And we're like, gee, I wonder if we're going to see a couple more of those. And lo and behold, as we're driving through Ashland, we saw two more. And we're just like, I see what they're doing. They're trying to make it like, oh my gosh, these people are so enthusiastic. They just went out and painted a piece of plywood. But anyway, that's my little anecdote. Good morning, Scribe Light, Dog Thrapple, and Anon. 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Nice to have you all here. So anyway, back to this article from Breitbart. Oh no, we read the whole thing. Oh yeah, here it is. So Hollywood celebrities have served as a reliable source of cash for Kamala Harris throughout her political career, which began in California after Biden dropped out of the race this summer following the massive cover-up of his cognitive decline. Celebrities went all in for Kamala, showering her campaign with millions of dollars. But as ordinary Americans continue to suffer due to record high consumer prices, one of Kamala Harris's biggest media allies is sounding the alarm about her coziness with wealthy stars. What? What is the link to? NBC News, Kamala Harris celebrity heavy campaign creates troubling criticism. Democrats cater to Hollywood, not average Americans. Well, duh. I'll open that. That's another Breitbart article. NBC News ran an article last week which it cautioned the party might be making a big mistake this election year. Quote, the courting of celebrity endorsements is a long-running tradition in presidential politics and one that Democrats generally win, NBC News reporter Matt Dixon noted. But in the process, Democrats can open themselves up to an easy line of attack from Republicans. Democrats cater to Hollywood, not the average citizen. Well, that's fucking true. Who didn't know that? That's like given. Anyway. Illegal insurrection, here it is. Trump speaks and distributes supplies to those affected by Hurricane Helene. Oh, look, former President Donald Trump is the first one on the scene of a disaster, not President Joe Biden, not Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump is in Valdosta, Georgia, to meet with officials, distribute relief supplies, and address the media. Apparently, he spoke at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Here was the live stream. How long was this?
Carolina, South Carolina.
Okay, that's 13 minutes long. We're not watching it, but he went and spoke there. Apparently, let's see. And then let's see, that's where he arrived at there. Let's see. They got a bunch of videos in here. I'm not going to play any of them. But Kamala chooses to ignore reporters instead of answering questions about her inept response to the hurricane devastation. What is this? Again, I don't know why they don't stop to answer questions. Well, I know why she doesn't. Because she's not good off the cuff. And probably doesn't have the information memorized, and her little little earrings that are microphones, they probably ain't working that well either. By the way, I saw a video this morning while I was working, or I was listening to it. Remember we saw the article about the earrings that were probably earbuds, sound pieces, whatever, that they're induction listening devices. That's been confirmed. Her earrings are double as earbuds. And now whether she used them during the debate, who knows? But there's a video of her actually using those. I wonder did I bookmark that? I hope maybe I did. Let's see if I bookmarked it. I may not have, because I don't think it was on X. I saw it on excuse me. I think I saw it on Instagram. It was an Instagram reel. So never mind. That's not there. Why did I do that for? Okay, click this. Go back to notifications. Anyway, all right, let's go back to what we're doing here, though. So in this legal insurrection article, what else they have here? Oh, just him talking, breaking Trump, asked if he has reached out to Biden about federal relief efforts. No, I haven't reached out to him. I think he's sleeping right now. Actually, oh my God.
Have you reached out to President Biden about federal relief efforts?
No, I haven't reached out to him. No, I think he's sleeping right now, actually.
That's just wrong. That's just wrong. that's funny. I mean, it's funny, but look, I know that the president, vice president are at least in meetings about this shit. And you know, Kamala in her stage picture and Donald Trump out there one-upping her. It's going to be interesting. Is the debate tonight between the vice president's candidates? I think it is tonight. That's going to be interesting. So anyway, we've got another article in the Federalist here. Americans throughout several southeastern states are enduring catastrophic devastation caused by Hurricane Helene. So naturally, America's lame-brained Democrat president and vice president are missing in action. After making landfall in Florida late last week, the Category 4 hurricane ripped across the southeast over the weekend, producing massive flooding and mudslides. At least 110 people across 6 states were reported to have been killed as of Sunday night, according to the New York Times. Western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee were among the regions hardest hit by the storm, according to the Associated Press. Residents in Asheville, North Carolina, had to be airlifted from a hospital due to floodwaters engulfing the entire roadways throughout the city. Yet despite such widespread suffering among the people they were elected to serve, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, the latter of whom is running to be our next president, seem to have bigger things to worry about. As Tristan Justice noted, Biden spent most of his weekend lounging around on Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. Meanwhile, Harris reportedly attended a campaign event in San Francisco on Saturday and a fundraiser in Los Angeles on Sunday afternoon. She concluded her weekend at a political rally in Las Vegas, Nevada on Sunday night. So yeah, this is after the storm hit. Why aren't they in meetings? I mean, at least maybe they're on the phone constantly. Look, you don't have to be in Washington to be dealing with this, but sometimes you got to go where the most people are who are working on it are, and you know, drum up some support for the American people. And it's all optics, and they're not good. So anyway, the White House issued a statement from both Democrats and a quote fact sheet, end quote. Oh, good God. I'll put a link to the fact sheet on what actions it's supposedly taking to help local officials address the crisis. But beyond their truth-deprived base, those of us who've already closely watched this dumpster fire of an administration for the past 3.5 years know better than to believe that Biden and Harris are actively managing the federal government's Helene response. If anything, many Americans have accepted the unfortunate reality of a major policy decision being made by an uneducated Democrat oligarchy. Neither Biden nor Harris has the stamina or capability required to direct a government-wide disaster response. Both Democrats have demonstrated on multiple occasions they possess worse management skills than Dunder Mifflin's Michael Scott. Does 2021's Afghanistan withdrawal ring a bell for anyone? So this is criticism. Look, here's another thing. I don't expect necessarily Joe Biden to be an expert on disaster relief. I don't expect Kamala Harris to be an expert on disaster relief. But I kind of expect them, especially as devastating as this has been. This is again, this is Katrina scale. I expect them to at least be in Washington, hands-on, looking like they're doing something. Is it absolutely necessary for them to do that? No, but still, optics. And you're running for president. And like, you know, they did have the photo op with her yesterday when she finally got back to Washington, having a meeting with the FEMA people, right? Well, first of all, that should be Joe Biden. Because again, she's not the president. I don't expect her to really do anything other than support the president. But somehow they decided to have her in a photo op in front of FEMA. So all the fucking moron Democrat Biden shill fuckwads who are paid to tweet all day can put that picture up. I'm sure I'll see that picture on. If I go on X right now, I'll go through all their accounts. Everyone having a picture of her and FEMA, Kamala Harris in charge, whatever. And I'll call bullshit on it. But it's kind of what you expect from your president. And is Joe Biden really the president right now? I don't know. He's in the chair. But I don't know if he's all there. Make a rap song out of that. Here's the administration's fact sheet on this. Fact sheet update. Biden-Harris administration continued response efforts to Hurricane Helene. And proving major. I'm just giving the bullet point headlines, the topic headers. Approving major disaster declaration. Yesterday, President Biden approved major disaster declaration for the state of Florida and North Carolina, allowing survivors to immediately access funds and resources to jumpstart their recovery. People in 17 counties in Florida and 25 counties in North Carolina, including the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, can now apply for assistance with FEMA. Woo! Whoop. That's exciting. Supporting on-the-ground response efforts today. As of today, more than 3,300 personnel from across the federal workforce are deployed and supporting Hurricane Helene response efforts across the impacted states. That's good. I can't knock them for that. This includes the most experienced incident management teams to help identify federal resources to address unmet needs. So that's good. Urban search and rescue personnel, blah, 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 blah. And at least 50,000 personnel from 31 states and the District of Columbia and Canada responding to power outages and working around the clock throughout parts of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina to restore power to those communities that can receive power. So those in the U.S., apparently the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is helped by moving generators and additional power generation assets into the hardest hit areas of South and North Carolina as floodwaters recede and debris removal removal of debris allows them to do that. 2.3 million customers without power though right now, and then additional interagency support efforts. So I mean, it's not like they're not doing anything. Okay, they made a list. Some intern, or several interns got on the horn, and made phone calls to find out. Well, what are we doing? Are we doing anything? Oh, well, here, call them and get a list. And so they got their list. So good. That the government's doing something, but the figureheads kind of look inept at the time. But of course, instead, we do get beautiful photo op pictures like this. Yes, that's her on the phone in the airplane. She's got a pen. She's got it's funny. This is funny. So she's got this little cord here, showing that she's wearing an earbud from her phone. Does her phone work while she's flying, or is she on the ground? And why isn't she just using her earrings, which are her earbuds? They're wireless earbuds, her earrings that she wears all the time. So anyway, good. She got a photo op, looking very presidential. All right, let's move on. Real quick. Byron Donalds is trending. I'm not sure why. He put it here. Oh, he has a thing about why the Senate border deal failed, because they keep saying, oh, Donald Trump killed the bipartisan border deal, right? Here's Byron Donalds talking about that.
America, the bipartisan Senate bill, quote unquote, would allow 1.8 million illegals into the country every year, and that would be under federal law. So you're already talking about a little over 8.5 million people over the course of her quote-unquote presidency. Yeah. If she signed that into law, that's crazy. Yeah. We already got 15 million people in the country, and she would sign a law that would allow, by law, another 8.5 million people into the country. That is insane. That's her position.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this then.
Okay, let's get the bullet points he gave. The border deal is supposedly codified catch and release, lets in 1.8 million illegals, funds sanctuary cities, funds non-governmental organizations for moving illegals, lawyers to illegals, work permits for illegals, nothing to deport illegals, no immediate wall funds, weak asylum screening, $60 billion to Ukraine. That was what was in that bill. So there's a lot of reasons why that bill failed that had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It was going to go nowhere in the House. The other part here is when a crisis, tweeted this, when a crisis occurs, Harris and Biden cannot be found. Harris and Biden are late to the game. Harris and Biden hide from the media. This hurts the American people. This emboldens our adversaries. This makes our world less safe. Yeah, the fact that they won't even try to answer questions from the press is very strange. It's very strange. And their handlers push the press away whenever the questions get tough. Yesterday, I'm going to try to get through the rest of this quick because I'm out of time. But yesterday we talked about Hillary Clinton and talking about an October surprise. And here's someone suggesting what an October surprise would be. So right now we have this dock worker strike, which unfortunately I'm not going to get to talk about much. But how about this for an October surprise? Someone named Ryan Matta predicting this. Kamala Harris's October surprise psyop. So this person says the dock strike is all staged. Kamala will come in and negotiate a deal to save the day. The mainstream media will make her out as a hero. Bookmark this tweet. That's a fascinating thought. The only thing I'm going to put out about this dock worker, I'm going to put two things out about this dock worker strike. Okay. Oh, wait. The dock worker strike from Texas to Maine over a 77% wage increase may not be an October surprise, but has the possibility to carry the ramifications of one. Could be a gift to Kamala and a landmine for Trump. That's Malcolm Flex saying that. I want to focus on this guy because a lot of people are posting this guy regarding this dock worker strike. Because part of the reason they're striking is because of they had a apparently in their last contract 6 years ago when they were doing their contract negotiations that they were going to they were supposed to limit automation, meaning that rather than implementing a lot of automation techniques for moving this dock, all these goods, that they would make sure people stay employed. And apparently that's part of the reason they're striking, even though they're getting massive pay increases. So this guy has an interesting take on this. Remember when well, maybe you don't remember, when the air traffic controllers struck during the Reagan administration, Reagan said, fuck it, we'll train some new people. We can't have this crippling our entire nation, because you want to, because you have a point to make. And that's what this dock worker strike is probably going to do if it goes very long at all. But here's what this guy says. Listen, a lot of people are posting this guy.
These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoreman now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are gonna go to work on that pier? It's gonna cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're gonna be like this. Who's gonna win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
Okay. So, in a sense, they're taking the entire economy hostage, so to speak. Now, as we go through this, here's the New York Post article. Dock workers from Maine to Texas go on strike in a move that could spark economic doom. Dock workers at dozens of ports stretching along the East Coast and Gulf Coast walked to the picket line after midnight on Tuesday as they launched a massive strike that threatens to reignite inflation and spark product shortages at the start of the holiday season. Work stoppage went into effect at 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday after the International Longshoremen's Association, which represents 45,000 workers, and the alliance representing ports failed to renew a collective bargaining agreement that had just expired. For the first time since 1977, 36 ports stretching from strategic seaboard locations as far north as Maine and as far south as Texas, all of which handle an aggregate of $3 trillion of the country's annual international trade, will be idle due to a work stoppage. The labor dispute, in which longshoremen are demanding higher wages and protections against automation of their jobs, puts a pause on billions of dollars worth of daily trade and threatens to cause significant damage to an economy that has been beset by stubbornly persistent inflation. It also comes at a critical time when authorities are in need of supplies and goods to deliver in hopes of helping parts of the Southeast recover from the devastating effects of Hurricane Helene. Ports throughout the Southeast and the Gulf Coast lost power while congestion piled up as a result of the massive storm. Retailers like Walmart, IKEA, Samsung, Bob's Discount Furniture, LG, and Home Depot that rely on imported goods have the most exposure to the damages that would ensure if the strike were to be prolonged. Workers began picketing at the port of Philadelphia shortly after midnight, walking in a circle at the rail crossing outside the port and chanting, "No work without a fair contract." So, look, a big part of their beef, so to speak, obviously pay, but also automation, which is trending. Okay, now there's several things trending. Aren't they kind of creating? An incentive for some of these places to increase automation, though, to avoid this kind of stuff? So a lot of people talking about the word automation. The Longshoremen Association strike is the perfect example why American ports need more automation and AI, not less. That's one point. So about the strike, longshore workers currently make an average of $197,514. They want a 77% raise. So basically, looking at 270, basically 280, something like that. At another 140,000. So no, yeah, basically they want to go up over $300,000 a year. And the Democrats are supporting this. Someone here, we don't want much, just a 77% pay increase, a contractual ban on all automation forever at all U.S. ports. The Longshoremen Union is a vampire squid on our economy, and their pending strike will absolutely increase the cost of everything from cars to asparagus. So, go figure. Thank you. Reaction Puerto Rico says they will strike themselves out of existence. Yeah, I think they kind of do. And in fact, there's if you look at videos, how's that? Oh, there are videos of how the ports in China work, and they're almost fully automated as far as running the all the cargo containers off ships and stuff. They're nearly fully automated, full AI automated ports in China. And these guys, honestly, they're making the case for automation. So I wish I had more time because I really like to go through this more. I do have lots of links today. Or no, I don't have lots of links. I actually have I'm putting the aggregator up today. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, another small bullet, and you are the Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day still, who says, I thought unions were supposed to be a collection of people working for a common interest. My men, clearly he doesn't view it that way. Yeah, no, he doesn't. And this one's, why do I get the feeling, though, that perhaps there will be this sudden miracle from the Biden administration? Because remember Biden, they were talking about the Israeli missile strikes on Yemen and Yemeni Houthi targets in Yemen that were, out there shooting, they're firing missiles at ships out in the sea and shit. And they asked Biden about the strikes in Yemen. He goes, yeah, I've talked to both sides and we're negotiating a fair deal. And because I think he was thinking they were asking about this. I get this feeling. I got a feeling ooh, that this could perhaps be a head fake and just miraculously the Biden administration or Kamala Harris herself will negotiate an end to this strike. But then again, maybe not. I know how my union works, although my union usually folds on shit like this. Or not folds, but because my union, they do good things for us, but it's hard to beat automation. There's already a transformation. There's a whole upgrade to our facility that's going to absolutely make it easier to work there with fewer people. And that's just kind of how the world's working right now. And in this case, when you have something as vital to our country as these docks, these shipping places, the shipping docks, and you see how China does it almost all automated, it's hard to say whether or not, it's hard to say if you are just increasing the need for automation by striking. You're not decreasing the need for automation, you're increasing it. So it's interesting. And I'm just curious too, how many young kids are clamoring to be dock workers right now? That's a good question too. But anyway, there's plenty of other articles regarding that in the links today, and also some of the tweet stuff. I just didn't get to it. I appreciate you all coming here today. Let me drop these links here right now. Copy, and here's today's links. Looks like AY. Bam, there you go. I appreciate you joining me today. Please invite a friend tomorrow. Let's see if we get 50 people here tomorrow. I'm gonna work on that myself. I'm gonna send out some text messages today. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Thank you for being here. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Okay, wait. I just realized that I'm still using the old outro. I've updated my outro. I should do that. What do you think? What do you think? Should I update the outro? Let's see. Let me find the new one. I know I should never come back like this, but I'm doing it anyway. Where's my streams? Let me fix that right now. Because it's way overdue. It's way overdue to change the outro. And there's some new information in it. So here we go. 2024. Where's 2024? There we go. Fall outro. There we go. All right. Has some new footage. You guys ready? Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.